Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live call-in radio. Caroline Crystal Hart, founder of Crystal Heart Radio, Crystal Heart Psychics, and the whole Crystal Heart ecosystem, where we love to discuss spiritual topics, and we also love to discuss anything else. And obviously, we are a live call-in. So, who am I? So, I'm Caroline Crystal Hart. As I said, I'm founder of Crystal Heart Radio and Psychics. And I did develop Crystal Heart Radio because I have been doing live podcasts and live call-in studio for 11 years now, previously on Blog Talk Radio and also Podbean live call-in. And obviously now we're in that place where, those two platforms no longer exist. Others have chosen to go onto streaming platforms. However, I like the setup of having a live studio, so this is why I created. So who am I? So I'm a psychic medium. I'm also clairvoyant, which means I get pictures in my head in symbolization form. So, and what I have been doing for the last 11 years is obviously hosting live shows. You'll recognize the name, the UK-US Psychic Tag Team Connect Across the Pond that I did with my wonderful co-host, Joni Isinger. We have since, parted ways in the sense that she's gone and done her own thing, and so have I. However, it doesn't mean I've stopped doing live call-in, and therefore, Crystal Heart Radio was born. So, obviously, I would look forward to listening to your calls, but also what I will do is pick a topic to discuss. So the first thing is I'm going to talk about the energy for the month. 2025, 2026, the energy's been shifting at a phenomenal rate. And I think anyone who's psychic or spiritual on any level will have felt that energy change. And, certain things happen. I certainly know that, I have been pushed spiritually to develop this platform and a lot of other things. But I also have been facing challenges over the past couple of years, as I'm sure everybody has. And that is down to the energy shift. And as much as I like to predict settling, I do feel there's an acceleration coming up in September. I feel that's partly to do with the Lionsgate portal as well coming in. So there's a whole vibrational shift in energy coming through, and it's coming in. I'm picking up September of this year. Now, what this will mean is it's nothing negative. What it'll actually mean is that we will embrace and have harmony and trust is what I feel. So I feel that we've been climbing, and anyone that's in the psychic spiritual sense has been climbing a ladder, and everyone in total, to get to the place where they need to be. And I think definitely if you are psychic or, have any of that intuition or quite spiritual, you will feel that energy shift and you'll feel driven to do things that is perhaps maybe outside of your comfort zone, but it's also to assist you into reaching your destiny. So I feel August has been quite a solid month. We've still been met with challenges throughout the month. I also feel this year and last year was a lot of tidying up lessons from the past. And when I say that, sometimes, if we've got lessons that keep cropping up in our life, someone somewhere, spirits are showing us we need to act differently or do something different. So we kind of then can move on from that lesson and learn to manage our emotions or react to that situation differently. So that's how I feel at the moment. Now, also, the other thing that came into my head earlier today was to talk about sacred geometry. Now, this is another thing that a lot of people talk to. So as we all know, there is ley lines within the earth, and they are energetic frequencies that are coming through to us. I feel that when it comes to sacred geometry, that we can actually manage our energy within our homes and our properties. And that is with when we're purchasing crystals, we can actually do grid work. So when I'm talking about crystal grids, I'm talking about sort of, if you link it through to feng shui, it's about managing the energy within your home. and making sure that you have got your place of peace and calm. I certainly know that that's what I do. And especially if I feel energetic shifts, I have quite a lot of crystals in my home, so I do shift them around to where they need to be. So again, I kind of feel that sacred geometry has come up to me from an intuitive level to discuss, simply because I just feel it's something that we do need to talk about. A lot of people don't know how sacred geometry works. And it is very much about, obviously, you do have sacred patterns, which is the triangle, the square, the circle. And it's how we use them and utilize them to assist with our energy. And also, if you go back through history, you can actually sort of just have a look at certain things, and you can see like where we've used those patterns in our lives for our symbolization. So for instance, like if I talk about Reiki, because I'm a Reiki master teacher, then obviously there's certain symbols that are channeled through from Reiki that will help. And part of the initiation is to endorse that person on their Reiki levels 1, 2, and 3 with those sacred symbols. I always feel, for me, triangles are amazing in the sense that they have a protective energy around them. And obviously, if you think about the different symbols that we've used in history, over the years, there's a very clear symbolization on how those should work. And again, it is something that, you know, it does need to be looked at. So again, if you are feeling a shift in your energy, you can actually produce, you listen to your intuition, you can actually produce a crystal grid that will help settle your energy and will assist you in moving forward. I also feel that with sacred geometry, it's a little bit like the symbolization of angels. When you're actually going through life, and you may be going through a challenging time, and you start to see the number 1111. Obviously, that's messages from angels. But also what you also see is 333 or 888. Those are other angelic symbols. And again, I'm a firm believer in feathers landing at your feet when you're going through a challenging time, or a passed over loved one may appear to you as a robin. I think that's very significant. And also the other thing is coins. So when we're talking about symbolization or spiritual symbolization as a whole, there is a lot of energetic responses to that symbolization. So I kind of feel that, that is something that is really key for me right now. And I think it's just to get the wider message out there about looking at sacred geometry and ensuring that you've created that safe space within your environment, which will help you heal. And I am being told by my guides it will assist you with healing faster. Okay. So you've also noticed on Crystal Heart Radio, we do have lots of nice things that can we use. I'm sure you've realized on the homepage, we have the lunar cycle and the moon phases. Now, for me, I'm a triple Cancerian, so moon phases are very significant for me. And I do feel the energy on a full moon. And I always feel that the energy of a full moon is for cleansing and for assisting cleaning your energy out from the last cycle. So I now wish to talk about Crystal Heart Radio for obviously those that are out there listening to this. So we do have a wonderful live studio where you actually can play music, and the intro is there as well, which is a signature that I've introduced. It's also very, very user friendly. Now, for radio hosts that want to come on board, we do have a subscription package. Now, also within the show, when a listener calls in, there is a listener panel which actually offers a listener to give donations, and those donations are actual real earnings. We do have a platform split, which is a 60-40 share, which for any host signing up, that's what we do. And the reason for that is because obviously we do have to fund the cost of the platform. However, what I will say from a point of view of me also being a telephone psychic reader for many years is that the rate our fixed rate across the platform for private readings is £1.50. That 40% share is 60 pence a minute, which is more than most platforms will give you, or the larger telephone psychic platforms will give you. But the other thing that I do love, and it's my design, so obviously I'm going to say it's fantastic, is as a reader, you can be available, say after a show like this, and speak to clients directly afterwards. But also what we do have is a dynamic booking system. So, for instance, you can be on standby and you can be available for readings, and anyone that comes to the site or any client that you've arranged a previous call with can come through and have an immediate reading with you. You can also schedule in your calendar where you are available every single time. So again, that gives the person looking at your profile, oh, when will the next be online? And there's an ability to book you for that next time slot. So also the other thing, and this is me working as a telephone psychic for many years, the actual rules around that is very much a case of, you have to have a landline, you have to be logged on all the time and on standby. Now, with Crystal Heart Radio, our system is very much you can go online through the app and be on standby after you've logged in. You can either leave that screen on your mobile. I probably would suggest that that's what I would do. But it doesn't mean you have to be hooked on, because what happens is every booking, both the client and the reader do get a link towards that booking. So even if you were on standby on the app, but you had gone off for 2 minutes and a booking came through, if you had your mobile with you, you'd see that text message to say, this is the reading room, and join when you're ready. And again, for clients, you may want to book in 15 minutes time. So there is also that opportunity. Or if you know that you've got a favorite person or a favorite host that you've been listening to, you have that ability to book that person. And I think, for me, doing a little bit of research as well, I've recently been looking at readings on TikTok, and I would say it's quite frustrating because there's very much a lot of like and share, press the button. We aim to be more professional on Crystal Heart Radio, in the sense that we offer that full service. But also for a host, what we do have in this technology stack is we have the ability to host a live radio show. You are given RSS feeds to connect to your own platforms. There is a master RSS feed to Crystal Heart Radio, so that will all be set up and ready. So whenever your show goes live, you're published to the Facebook page, you're published to Instagram, you're actually published to all of the major podcasting platforms. The RSS feed won't be the live call-in. What that will be is post-show. So, and the other thing with this as well is that, that obviously gives you exposure. And we are working on a process at the moment where YouTube will then develop TikTok shorts and it will go onto TikTok. But the one thing I love about this platform, and obviously what I've designed, is I've designed it for me. But if, from hosting on Blog Talk Radio and Podbean Live, it's very much a case of, I'm Caroline Crystal Heart. Here is my website. Here is my donation link. So several links later, and also, 3 subscriptions later. We remove all that because we say, here is your reader profile. Now, the reader profile, again, is brilliant in the sense that a person can click on your reader profile. You can actually have an audio, which is your own voice, obviously, and you can also have a video of yourself on that reader profile. And on top of that, as I say, you have a creator wallet where everything is split. So I'm really looking forward to people joining me as a host on Crystal Heart Radio. I'm aiming for this to be a spiritual community where like-minded people can connect and join. We do have the community circles. So again, you're not just joining as a host to host a radio show. You will have the ability to do private readings, video and audio. You will have the ability to host workshops as well. And obviously we do have the AI course creator, which is Crystal Heart Academy. If you wish to produce meditations, then we have Crystal Heart Mind, which again offers a creator studio. And what that does is you can actually record your own voice, upload an audio, or you can create a meditation or hypnosis with an AI voice. We haven't got to the development where we can do the whole create your own voice. We do have a selection of free voices, but that will be improved over time. And then also Crystal Heart Academy, again, you can join. You can be a creator on Crystal Heart Academy. You can have your own courses. And then when you produce a workshop on Crystal Heart Radio, you can actually screen share to show that course content and material. So again, I feel sort of for me, this is a one-stop shop platform. We do have other platforms that assist people in setting up their own business or getting exposed or being out there, in the sense of, Crystal Heart Academy is an AI course writer. But again, that also is a full LMS system. So that means you can actually write a course and put it into the platform, or you can choose to have it written with AI, but you can then edit that. So you've got full flexibility of how you create your course and make it unique to you. The other thing as well that we will be doing soon is Crystal Heart Radio will also have a sister company, Crystal Heart Wellness, which is exactly the same technology as what we use on Crystal Heart Radio. And the reason for this is because obviously Crystal Heart Radio is dedicated to psychic and spiritual content. Therefore, from a legal point of view, we have to say it is 18 plus only. And we ask all that sign up to Crystal Heart Radio to confirm they're over 18. This also gives protection. And from a host point of view, yes, what we do want is we are looking for very experienced hosts and readers that would like to join us on this journey as a founding host. We have put a 14-day trial period in with a 20% offer off for 3 months. So again, if you're interested, and I will say this, if you are interested but you're still not sure, you can email me at info@crystalheartpsychics.com, or you can actually direct message me on Facebook as Caroline Crystal Heart, or you can message the Crystal Heart Radio page and I will be there to answer you. If there's anything that you are stuck on or concerned about. As I say, I've built the platform from 13 years, but I also am very proud of what I've built. Again, we have AI bot guidance in the shop. You can actually create your own Oracle deck, which again is absolutely stunning. We don't actually send and ship the cards, but it will give you a downloadable set which you can print off yourself to a PDF. We do have a birth chart and we have compatibility readings. And again, some people are anti-AI. We do have AI chat guidance, which is gated after one question. However, again, it's just something fun and quite nice to see. And then we also have the tarot shuffle and the angel card pull. So we do have quite a lot to keep everyone entertained on the site. And I do think it is lovely because I've added those extra spiritual bits, shall we say. But also, like I said, we have the aura camera. And we do have the members circle and the community. So for all future hosts, you can set up your own community within the app. So therefore, you can create your own following. And we are fully sociable, sharing and RSS feeds as far as podcasts concerned. So, we are growing and we are developing and progressing as we go through. As I said, for all of those out there that obviously enjoy listening to or listen to or miss Blog Talk Radio, you will totally understand where I'm coming from, in the sense that you're very much in control. But also, yes, whilst I love Blog Talk Radio, it was audio only, whereas with Crystal Heart Radio, you can see me on video, but for listener protection, we don't necessarily include you on the video. You just call in live. So I think, from today, you can hear what we've got to say. Also, as I said, from a reading point of view, I do feel the energy shifting, and I keep getting this: the energy is accelerating this year, where we're coming more into our spiritual callings and where we need to be in our lives to be able to invoke blessings, is the words I'm getting from my guides at the moment. So all I can say is thank you for listening. If you wish to join me live, I am here. I will be live every Monday night at 9:30, without a doubt. But I will also schedule now. The other beauty of this, on the Discovery, you can see all the scheduled shows that are coming up. So that is good. So I'm now going to play you out with a little song. It's called Crystal Ring. And again, all of the soundboard in the studio, I've actually created these myself. So I'm now going to play you out. But thank you for listening. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Are you still using